Yo, what's good, everybody? It's your boy JT, opposite from the norm. If y'all seen the title, then you know what this is about. Let's get it.
If you guys looked at the evidence, if you watched the video, you would know that this was the most likely verdict. Okay? Some people are drawing parallels between this and the Kyle Rittenhouse case, and I'm like, they are nothing alike.
There is.
Now, there is very much so similarities in the situation. The only difference is people may be looking at Kyle versus Ahmaud Arbery versus looking at Kyle the same as they're looking at Jacob and the pop's son, whatever. I don't give a damn. But there are some similarities, and I get to that. Let me see what Priest gonna say. I'm gonna answer what he said.
What? Well, Kyle didn't do anything illegal. Auberry didn't do anything illegal.
Okay, so on that, Kyle actually did do some things illegally. And let me just say this: is no disrespect. I don't want y'all to think I'm saying that Ahmaud Arbery guy versus so should have died. But I'm gonna just say this: him stepping on the premises, you know what I mean, of the construction site, he wasn't really supposed to, because they have posted signs you're not supposed to. And if anybody have ever seen any posted signs on any work sites, you're not supposed to enter there if you're not working there. And also, if you come into there without any work hats and all your safety gear, then you're actually doing something wrong. Now, I'm not saying them hicks should have came and killed brother, because, I mean, come on, like, what, you may have got a fine or something for like $50, $100 for coming on property you shouldn't have, but that doesn't mean you're supposed to get killed. So, actually, Kyle did something he was supposed to not do, and that's go somewhere with a gun. I'll get into it a little bit later. I'm gonna let them finish.
It's just that the position where they're at is just different.
So, just so you guys have the particulars, Ahmaud Arbery was out for a jog. Apparently, there have been some burglaries in the areas, and so at one point, he stopped in front of an unfinished house. Someone came outside, saw him, and thought he committed a theft there. So the father of the man you just saw who said he'd be guilty, went inside, got his son, said, "Grab your stuff. I just saw someone. I think they did a break-in." So Ahmaud keeps running on his jog, and they start chasing him. There's three of them who's chasing him in their cars. They try to pin him in to perform what they call a citizen's arrest. Okay, and then one of them is filming from behind. That's how you have the video that came out. And then two of them, the other two, the father and the son, they get in front with their weapons, and then they try to cut him off. Afterwards, Ahmaud runs, and he's running away from them. They get in front of him. He runs towards the car. They claim self-defense after they shoot him there, and they kill him. Problem is, you can't
Oh, my bad. Let me go back.
do a citizen's arrest unless you saw a crime actually happen. Okay? That's like you going to a store and someone starts following you around the store because niggas know exactly what that's like. Because they think you're stealing. You haven't done anything. Then they try to arrest you. It's like you can't arrest somebody for a crime that they haven't committed. Okay? That's not how it works. And this is what you call...
Okay, let me say this to that. So, Kyle Rittenhouse going to a store to protect that store when nothing has happened to that store. Y'all hold that thought and let me respond to what Apple is about to say now.
Vigilantes. They threw the book at these people, and I'm glad. I hope they go to...
Okay, he said that was being a vigilante. Let me help y'all understand what vigilante means. Being a vigilante means you're basically going to take the law into your own hand, and you're not supposed to because you feel the police are inadequate. So you're going to go ahead and do your thing. As you can see, I got the definition on the screen right now. Okay. So the guys that came after Ahmaud Arbery came after him because they thought he was doing something. They had no proof, and then they tried to make a citizen's arrest. Yeah, Apple is correct on that. That is being a vigilante. But what Kyle did was being a vigilante too, because guess what? Instead of letting the business owners who have insurance over their companies, if something happens to it, they have insurance. Now, I was in the comments, somebody said something because they didn't like what I said. All right, that's cool, that's fine, I understand that. But what I said was you're supposed to let the police handle it, right? If you got business insurance, just like if you have car insurance and something happens, it's supposed to protect it. If you can't end up getting your insurance because maybe you don't have the right insurance, yeah, I understand. It's some BS that goes on with insurance companies. But you're still supposed to have insurance when you have a car. you still should have business insurance or building insurance when you have a business, correct? So Kyle went out there to protect the business. When if something happened to it, the police was supposed to handle it. And the insurance is supposed to cover it, unless you just don't have the right insurance. So that was still being a vigilante because you went out there and did something that the police is supposed to handle. I mean, plain and simple. Like, you can argue that if you want to, but it's still the same thing. That's being a vigilante. Going out in front of your business and having a gun to protect the business is being a vigilante is because the police is supposed to do that. Not you.
Yeah, and they stay there for the rest of their lives. Okay.
They killed someone for a crime that they didn't see was committed. Basically, that's what happened.
Well, no, it's not just they didn't see that it was committed. The crime would never happen. There was no burglary. He did not do anything. You can't claim self-defense after you corner somebody and then they lunge at you. It's like, bruh, he tried to run away numerous times. You kept going after him. Then you want to say self-defense? Go to jail. And anybody who tries to tell me otherwise, you can miss me as well. Okay? I'm all for self-defense. I really believe.
Now, check this part out. He said that they wanted to stop him and then they kept lunging at him. Kyle Rittenhouse situation, which they're going to bring up. But let me say this. If they would have never bothered him in the first place, they would have never killed him. So the same thing with Kyle Rittenhouse situation. If he never would have went out there in the first place, he would have never ended up wounding or killing 2 people. You got to think about this. When you look at the actual, because I looked it up online, when you look at the actual situation, Kyle was not supposed to have that rifle. He was underage as a minor. Now, it was a misdemeanor, they say, even though, it may do that to us folks, color folks, you know how they do us sometimes. But at the same time, if you're not supposed to have it and you're underage, then you get charged as a minor until they hold you, and then later on see if they want to charge you as an adult if they keep you long enough to be 18 or older. So he actually did something that he was not supposed to be doing, which that makes him a vigilante. You went out there in the situation, then you approach the protesters and you had an AR-15. They're doing a peaceful protest. Now, I'm not going to say you didn't have some idiots that did something wrong, but you have no right to come at people that you don't know for sure, and you're walking at them with an AR-15. Now, anybody can please comment in the comment section if you disagree. If you're doing a peaceful protest and somebody comes at you with an AR-15, it don't matter if they pointed at you or not. They're walking towards you with an AR-15 if they're not the police. You gonna either, what they say, fight or take flight. You're not going to necessarily stand there and be okay with that if they're not the police. There's some young dude with an AR-15 while the police don't even carry AR-15s unless they're like SWAT or something like that. Then that means you did something terribly wrong. They're coming at you. But if the police have their guns in their holster, they're not coming at you, and you see them with a gun in their holster, you're not going to think they're going to do threat right off the bat unless they just happen to be somebody crazy that luckily got a badge and a gun. So let's continue.
People should have the right to that. This is nothing like the Kyle Rittenhouse case. Okay? Kyle Rittenhouse got away, all right, with killing 3 white people. With shooting 3 white people, killing 2. These white folks didn't get away with killing a black man. This is extreme evidence of black supremacy. Clearly. Niggas is just winning.
No, he's just making a joke, y'all.
We can kill white people indiscriminately.
No, we can't.
And just do.
That's not what this means.
But that's what they were trying to say. They were trying to say, Kyle Rittenhouse getting away with killing 2 white folks in self-defense, which was.
And I'm gonna need Apple to fix those fix those wood panels on his floor because that is annoying sometimes.
There was evidence of white supremacy. Yeah. They better say this shit is evidence of black supremacy.
Absolutely.
But enough trolling aside.
Please.
Trolling aside.
Please.
Trolling aside. Black power. Good day, niggas and niggas says.
What's good, my people? As you know,
Y'all, please excuse that. I'm gonna get that out of here.
Listen, it's a tragic thing that happened. These motherfuckers chased him down and gunned him down.
Yep.
Imagine how scared you have to be to have random white folks in cars and guns chasing you down, telling you to stop. They want who are you? You know what it made me think of? A Time to Kill. What do you mean? The girl was walking home and they passed by.
Yeah, they didn't chase him with him. They stalked her, but I guess
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. A lot of crazy shit like that happens to us. But go ahead.
I hope they burn in hell.
Tell them, Sammy. Great movie. If you ever watch A Time to Kill, great movie. This is the right verdict. And I think self-defense is extremely important. I happen to live in a place right now where you don't have those same rights.
No.
You don't have the same ability to defend yourself from people who are trying to attack you. And it's something that you should want. You know, remember that case with the nurse who was apparently sleeping in bed, and the cops did a no-knock warrant, and they shot up this place, and the boyfriend was shooting back.
Breonna Taylor.
Right? They dropped the charges against the man who was shooting and ended up striking one of the cops. Why? Because they said it was self-defense. Right? They perform a no-knock warrant. Yeah. Right? I might have the details not perfectly well, but anyways, he shot in self-defense because he didn't know who it was.
No, there's just some people shooting at him.
Right? And because the self-defense laws are in place, it is legal for him to shoot at somebody who's going after him. Mm-hmm. Okay? That's important. We need that.
Yeah.
You need to have that right. Like, maybe it's just me. I don't know how you guys want to live your life. I think that if you are in your place of residence and someone's barging in, or something's happening, or someone's trying to come up on.
And let me say this real quick. I'm so glad he brought up Breonna Taylor. God rest her soul. And God bless her fiance. They came to her residence and they were in the wrong. Kyle Rittenhouse came to where the protesters were, and this situation happened. If he was never there in the first place, do you think this would have happened? Probably not.
When you're trying to keep your distance, you have the right to self-defense. If someone's attacking you, I don't care what they're doing. With a pencil, with a knife, with whatever. Shoot them, motherfuckers. I don't care if there's 10 of them chasing you. Shoot them all. What right do you have to ask for equal retaliation when you are the one who's initiating aggression? Wipe them off the map. You're going to get zero sympathy from me. Between this case and the Kyle Rittenhouse, I was hearing some of the dumbest things from lefties on this topic. It blew my
people that didn't have all the information, lies. You believe in it with everything that was in the media, but when it was time to have due process and facts, you didn't believe it.
Bruv, they've been saying all kinds of crazy stuff. They've been saying, oh, he crossed state lines with a gun. That never happened. The gun was already in the state, and so therefore it's legal for him to have it there.
Cool, let's get it here. Like they said in the situation of the case, y'all can go look this up. He was a minor with a firearm that he was not supposed to have. And this, from my understanding, the place was like 30 minutes away from his home, and his mother dropped him off. He should not have been there in the first place. He is not the damn police.
Like the amount of like misinformation that's been out there.
Yes.
People calling him a white supremacist. You know what's funny about Kyle Rittenhouse? He's a BLM supporter. Mm-hmm. He's been his whole life.
I'm not a racist person. I support the BLM movement. I support peacefully demonstrating.
Some people still think that he...
Okay, so this is where the issue at. And this is what people don't realize. You gotta be careful about that, Al, because you just sound like you just trying to make a point. If he was a BLM supporter, then why was he not there protesting with them? Like you gotta honestly think about that. If we know that a lot of them, majority of people that were protesting was actually doing peaceful protesting, then why would you go there with an AR-15? Now, we can talk about this situation. Now, they said that a couple of the business that was connected to the business that he was trying to stand in front and protect it, there was some vandalism that happened. Something happened to it, right? Okay, cool. I can respect that. I can understand that. But the biggest issue was, like I said, why would you go out there with an AR-15 like the police not had? Like, this is my thing. They didn't say anything about them not being able to have insurance coverage on those places, or they wasn't going to be insured. But how does that make sense to go out there and do that? Because you don't know if it was the protesters that did it necessarily. Who was arrested for doing this? And if it was the protesters, then the police most likely would have tried to stop the protest. And there was a curfew that was going on, and Kyle definitely wasn't supposed to be there because he was under age. Like, let me continue.
He shot black people. That's what I'm trying to say.
It's because what was written in the news. What was written in the way it was written in the news, it was written. Kyle Rittenhouse shot anti-racist.
Some of them actually said he shot black people.
Yeah. So
got away with.
Now, I didn't see him about shooting no black people. I've never heard that.
Killing black. I'm like, bruh, this has happened like months ago. You could have at least Googled the bitch. The white niggas that died are up in heaven like, hey man, I'm cool, but I'm not that cool.
Now, that was supposed to be a joke, but that's not necessarily funny, because we got to talk about this also. If you go all the way back to the Freedom Riders in the 60s and different situations, you can go all the way back to Rosewood. You can go all the way back to slavery, where white people have helped black people, slaves, escape to freedom. And they died while being called nigger lovers. So we got in this situation 3 white people, 1 injured, and 2 killed that was out there with black people in the movement trying to help. Now, you may not agree that they, black BLM is perfect. Cool, I respect that because I see some things I don't like. But at the same time, you mean to tell me that you do have people of all colors that's trying to stand with us? How does it make sense if they get hurt or killed that it's no situation that could be looked at as suspect? I mean, think about it. Kyle Rittenhouse says he supported the BLM, but he wasn't out there on their side. He was out there on the side of businesses.
Do I get an end pass in heaven now? Like, it's been a lot of ridiculous surrounding these trials. And I think, one thing that fascinates me, people is like, oh, if he gets off, then it's white supremacy. If they're found guilty, then it's just a system doing what it was supposed to do originally. It's like, brother, you guys can't have it both ways. Maybe we need to acknowledge one, there's some deficiencies in the system,
yes,
that there's some racial bias in the system, and that sometimes the system does its job. Okay? But people whining about self-defense laws. Someone said to me this. Okay, this was crazy.
I don't want to hear it.
This is crazy. She said.
Oh, she said.
Yeah. White women. She said to me, yeah, well, they were running at Kyle, but they didn't have a gun. It's like, bitch, this is not equal retaliation.
If you try to take my gun away from me, and you're saying, oh, if you try to take my gun away from me, the first person that was shot, try to take his gun away, and you can't, and I run, I leave. The person with the gun is not the person getting out. He's being chased.
Let me simplify it. If I try to punch you, you're allowed to shoot me, right? If I'm backing away, you try to swing at me, I don't have to respond with a punch. This is not MMA. This is not mixed martial arts. This is in the streets, okay? I don't know what you have in your pockets. I don't know what you might swing with next. Well, he just swung a skateboard. So, if it knocks him unconscious and they take his gun and just kill him.
It's over.
Okay?
And you have to go with the law. The law says if he feels like he was in danger,
yep,
self-defense.
That's it.
Okay, that's true to a certain extent, but we got to realize something. He should have not been there with a damn AR-15. He's 17 years old. It was against the law. Misdemeanor, federal, whatever. It was against the law, okay? Second of all, when he came towards them with an AR-15 and these people felt that they was threatened for their life, that's actually self-defense. Because as I stated earlier, he was not the police. Some random white dude coming at y'all with an AR-15, whether he pointed or not, people must have felt like they was in fear for their life. That's what people have to be honest about. This is where the self-defense laws become an issue when certain people get certain passes or certain things are overlooked. After he shot those people and was running towards the police didn't try to stop him. He was yelling he had to shoot somebody, but they didn't try to stop him. He ran towards the police and past the police. Now, that would have been a young black male doing that same thing. Let me would have done that. Let Abel Preach would have been running towards the police after he shot somebody with an AR-15 hanging around his neck. Even if he wasn't pointing the gun. You know how many situations you can look up where black people had a gun and they didn't point it at the police, or they was around a certain situation and the police thought they had a gun and they shot and killed his ass? I mean, I forget the name of the brother, got arrested, so, but I think it was like in New York, like some years back, early 2000s, late 90s or something like that. The brother wallet was on the ground. He dropped his wallet and the police was asking for identification. He went to pick up his wallet and they shot the shit out of him. There's another situation, I think it happened in South Carolina, and Charlamagne the guy from the Breakfast Club said that this was a nice guy that he actually personally knew as a good friend. You can see this on the video. Y'all can look this up. Guy gets shot trying to get his wallet out of his vehicle. I think this happened in South Carolina. The police had him pulled over. He was out the car. The police told him to go in the vehicle and get his wallet. They told him to go get his wallet. He went to go get his wallet and they shot the shit out of him. And you can hear him as the camera go down as the police is approaching him. Why did you shoot me? I was getting my wallet like you told me to get. Like, come on, man. Like, this is so sad. And quick disclaimer, I do respect Apple and Preach on a lot of their views. But some of like this and a couple other ones, I'm sorry, but it's like y'all kind of off on this. Like I said, I'm attacking the viewpoint, not them. Just like I'm giving my opinion on their opinion of the opinion that they gave. That's what I'm talking about. I'm not trying to attack them because, like I said, I do respect, these brothers. I watch them a lot. Like, almost every day that they drop a video, I try my best to watch it because I like these dudes. You know what I'm saying? They comedians as well, and they do their thing. But on this one, they to me they completely off.
That's what happened.
That's it, guys.
The worst thing is that Kyle stayed there when he shot the person, called the paramedic, and left when he was chased again by other people. Yo, get this guy! Get this guy! Self-defense again.
Yeah, on that one, preach. Sorry, brother, but you got to think about it. You out there protesting, and say you walking up in a situation, you with some people, y'all peacefully protesting. Somebody gets shot. He's standing over the guy. They don't know that he's calling the paramedics. They don't know if he's gonna attack him again. They just trying to save his life. Because if it was the same situation with the police, if something like that happened, guy shoots the police was in the wrong, and he's standing over the police, do you think the police are not going to fire back after they just heard a gunshot and they running up on him? No, they're going to shoot him. And then he shoots them and running, and they yelling, get this guy. Guess what? The police see him running with an AR-15, they're going to shoot the shit out of his ass. They're not going to let him run by 30 police officers, and he got a gun, and people yelling, because in case y'all seen the video, they was yelling, hey, he just shot somebody. The police still let him run by. Let that be a black man. Now, I know y'all, a lot of y'all may not want to hear that, but go do your research in his. Just look it up. Like the things I said about black people getting shot all the time, especially black men. It wouldn't have been cool. Like, these are the things that y'all really got to ask yourselves in these situations happen. That's why a lot of brothers like me that look at the situation and looking from the other standpoint and being thankful of the people that actually do care about other people besides the people in their family or their race, you got to appreciate and respect that. Whether people like it or not, we can debate it, comment section, videos, whatever you want.
I really wanted to put him in jail for the right reason. But then I look at everything, like I was like, it would serve the purpose. Yeah, you shot people, you go, but that's not what happened. These are not the facts. If you look at the facts, it's not what happened.
Yeah, actually, it is what happened. When you look at the facts, like I said, if you go back and look at the facts of what happened, Kyle should have never been there in the first place. He actually should have never been there in the first place. And matter of fact, y'all can look it up because there's been some BS that went on with the business owners. First, they testified saying that they did not give him permission to go or anybody else to go protect their businesses after whatever happened to their other businesses. But then they showed proof that the guy, one of the business owners, was like, they was going to be there with their weapons. And Kyle said, I'm willing to protect the businesses. If you need me to, I just need the address. So, yeah, it was some things that happened, just like the George Zimmerman case with Trayvon Martin got arrested. So the 911 people told him to stand down, let the police come. You called the police to come do a job. So why did you go chase him down? And then when he stood his ground and said, why are you following me? George Zimmerman started an altercation. Trayvon had to stand his ground, and he still got shot and killed. And then next thing you know, George Zimmerman still got off, and he was actually in the wrong for following the situation. Kyle should have never been there in the first place. He's not a police officer. He's a vigilante. So he broke the law. Basically, technically, whatever you want to call it.
This verdict is the correct one. I'm glad the king.
No, it's not the correct one.
This verdict.
I bet you are.
And the media who's complicit in fucking making this whole hubbub much worse than it actually is, or making it like a much more racially charged than it needs to be.
You should be sued.
Yes.
You should be.
If you're spreading misinformation,
you should be sued.
Man, if that's the case, I wish Fox News was taken off the air.
It's not just Trump. You guys do it too, okay? So that's something that needs to also be addressed, because why? It's fermenting hatred. It's fermenting a lot of the resentment that people are creating for these riots and these things like that. So let us know what you guys think.
All right, so final thoughts. Like I said, first of all, Kyle Rittenhouse should have never been there in the first place. He was 17 years old. He wasn't supposed to have a gun. He was a minor with a gun. His mom dropped him off. She should get some kind of charges as well. She should have never dropped him off. If Kyle would have never been there in the first place to even be around protesters when the police was trying to deal with it, doing a vigilante move, thinking that it was inadequate to do something, this would have never happened. So it's his fault. He should have got some time. Even if he would have got reckless manslaughter or whatever, he should have still got some time. I still like Albert and Preach's show, but I think I know for certain they are totally off of this because they're saying self-defense. Self-defense is when you're somewhere and you're not bothering nobody, and they come bother you. Not when you go to a situation, we hear this all the time, stay out of the way. Stay out of the way of trouble. Why would you run to trouble? What it say in the Bible about feet swift to run to mischief? That's what he did. He went to a situation he should not have went to. And then plus, I seen somebody say in the comments, oh, one of the people he shot had a record for this. That's why. You can look up on a video Kyle Rittenhouse beating up on some girl that was already getting beat up, and he jumped on her from behind, beating the hell out of her. So if that's the case, then he should be dead or in jail too. Like, we got to really look at certain situations. Like I said, I really like these brothers' show. I'm subscribed, so I'm just attacking their point of view on this. Kyle Rittenhouse should have never been there. And no, it is not okay that after you close your business, you go back and stand in front of it with a gun. If you have business insurance or building insurance or whatever, if something happened to it, it protects it. That's why you make sure you have insurance for fire damage, water damage. If somebody breaks in and steals something, you're supposed to have insurance for all of that. May cost a little bit more, but that's what it's for. And if you have an alarm system, if it goes off, the police are supposed to come protect it. But they was trying to watch over the protesters, make sure they didn't do nothing wrong. And curfew was in place, so Kyle should have never been there. He was 20, 30 minutes away from his home, so that's where he messed up. And then whoever gave him an AR-15 is a dumbass. So if mama or daddy didn't go out there and do it, you damn sure should have never went out there. So leave y'all comments of what y'all think. And like I said, if you got people out there standing up, especially for our people, and then this happened to them, and then you think, oh, well, hey, he killed some white folks, not us. Well, keep that same energy when black people who are breaking crimes get killed. Do not try to take up for them if they was wrong. It's your boy JTL, opposite from the norm. I'll holler at y'all next time. Chip!